So another video from the ABARTH 595C, and in this video I will tell you why I think the 500 series, especially ABARTH because it's a more sporting brand, is comparable to the 911. So this ABARTH type of car is there from 500 version is there from 2007, and now we are in 2022. So we have 15 years or over 15 years of ABARTHness in the 500, and it's still an evolution of the same concept. So it's in its essence the same cars in 2007, but just matured a little bit. So very small changes, and this is comparable to the 911, which also evolves. Instead of a revolution, you get an evolution. So also very minute changes. I think even, and they often say the 911 is the most evolution in a very small sense, but the 595 or the 500 before it of ABARTH, I think is even less changes there. Also, if you look at the car, it has that round headlights like the 911 has. It also seats 4 people, but it has more room than the 911. You have a car that's also a lot smaller on external dimension, but internally you have a lot more room. You can seat 2 adults at the back, which you cannot do with 911. Also 911 comes in all these special versions, GT3, GT, the R version, the Carrera, the Carrera 4S, the Turbo, etc. But you have all kinds of versions as well, and special editions of the ABARTH. So the normal ABARTH 500 and the 595. The Esseesse, so the Super Sports. Then you had a similar engine, the Turismo and the Competizione. I drive the Turismo. You also have an ABARTH Biposto with only 2 seats. So there's so much to find. The Biposto could be compared with the GT3 RS of the 911. But in my opinion, if you just look at it from not only your performance, but just as a enthusiast type of perspective, if you look at all the things, they also have all these little labels and do their own thing, but it gives you the experience of that you drive something very special. I think even more than a base 911, I will tell you that. And the funny thing is, if you look at it from a perspective as an owner, you get a lot more practicality because you can seat 4 real people instead of 2 and 2 children. You also have more room to store because the 911 might be such a longer car, but you have very limited room to store in the nose, and in the back you have the engine. Here you have the back, so a normal trunk, and you can fold down the seats as well, which is very nice. And even if you are looking at the experience of sound, this is only a 1.4 4-cylinder, and 911s have an excellent sound. But this sounds ridiculously good. And you have also the shifting gear at your steering wheel. It's extremely pleasant. And if you look at, for example, the 911, and you go for the convertible, you still can take 2 children with you, but then the room is a lot less as compared to the coupe, regular 911. But with this car it isn't. You can say that you even have more headroom if you open the convertible, which is the same with the 911 convertible, of course. But the 911 convertible also, you lose a small part of the legroom because they have additional things to make the cabriolet function. Also, the cabriolet 911 is a lot less stiff than the coupe. This is not so much the case with the ABARTH. It's also a benefit, and the ABARTH is a lot lighter type of car, which is very nice because it gives you more pleasure at lower speeds. The 911 is such an enormously capable car, even the base level, that you need to drive it quite hard to really savor it and have fun in it, and that you feel that you're really working it, not not so much with the ABARTH. Even at very mundane speed I'm driving behind a Nissan Almera Tino and still having so much fun. That's the charm, in my opinion, of the ABARTH. And also when you drive a 911, oftentimes people, they would just be a little bit sketchy, and they're not so sketchy. When you drive a 595, they are not. So I hope this helped. Have a great day. Found a car out.